Hello peoples, my name is Chris. Welcome to my shop. Today's project, probably not the most difficult project you'll ever have to do, and maybe not even the most exciting, but it's a necessary step we have to take in order to do the next thing I want to do on this Adirondack style table. And that is a bentwood lamination. What I'm talking about is an apron for this table that will go in this general direction around the bottom of the wood, an apron about so high, and I have to shape it into that form. In order to do that, I have to build a clamping frame in that same radius to bend the wood to. So that's what we're up to today. A bentwood lamination clamping frame. It's not exciting, but it needs to get done. So let's go make that first cut. Okay, there we go. One clamping frame completed. A couple things about this though. What I did is, you saw me do the one piece with the router. I had to do the remaining, 5 pieces with the router as well by simply screwing the template on top of each piece of form and then running it through the router using what is basically a trimming bit in order to get them all to the same size as you can see here. Then I clamp them all down together to get them nice and even along the sides and on the inside as well, and then screw them all together. So it's basically not a difficult procedure, but it has to be done. Now, a couple more things. One thing I noticed, once I had this done, I put this tabletop up on it just to try to see if I could get a perspective on how this apron would end up looking matched with this table, and it's a little too tall this way. It's about 5 1/4 inches high here currently, and I thought that was a little too tall. So I took the top two off and got it down to what is basically 3 3/4 inches, and this looked a lot more in proportion with what this table will be sitting on top of. So that's what we're going to go with. It's all screwed together. Need to screw it down to this piece of plywood, and then we'll be ready to bend some wood, and that's what we'll be doing next week. A couple notes you might want to have also: using MDF. It has its purposes. MDF very strong. Well, as far as heavy, it's very heavy. It's very flat, and let's face it, it's cheap. But one thing that is a major drawback with it is, boy, this creates a lot of dust. And I'm not talking about a little. I'm talking about a lot. If you're gonna ever use MDF and you're gonna be cutting and stuff, you need to have one of these. Trust me, because you do not want to breathe the dust that comes off of these things. You'll be coughing for weeks. That may be a bit of an exaggeration, but you'll be coughing for a long time. It's just not pleasant. So if you're working with MDF, absolutely wear some dust protection for your nose and your mouth. And you know about these. Our friend Norm told you all about these. But next week, what we'll be working on is actually cutting the wood to get into shape, to bend around here. We'll be clamping it down. I haven't decided what type of wood I'm going to use yet. I'm actually probably going to go with a couple different approaches. I may try a very thin plywood first if I can get it to work for me. Maybe some Baltic birch. And if that won't work, then I'll just see if I can find some wood that I can cut down into very small, thin strips to enable to bend it around here and glue it all together so that we can actually create that clamping frame. We'll have to see, because all the wood that I have available to me is in the big box stores, and it's all flat sawn wood. And if a lot of this can happen when you try to bend it around a corner, so I'll be cutting a lot more pieces than I actually need. But that's next time, so I hope to see you then. If you want to follow this progress along as we build this Adirondack style table, I encourage you to do so. Please hit subscribe, and you'll be updated every time I have a new upload regarding it, okay? All right, now you take care, get out in your shop, get busy, and by all means remember, nothing ever gets done until you make the first cut. Have a good day, guys.